Two popular radio personalities out at V103 here in Atlanta.
Wanda Smith and Miss Sophia were on the Frank Ski Morning Show. Let's bring in Astra in the ATL and Miss Sophia herself, who is also known as Joe Taylor. That's your official name on your birth certificate,
yes,
right?
That's what my mom called me, Joe Taylor.
Government name.
This has been, for your listeners, a shock. But was it as shocking for you as it is for all of us who heard about it?
But before I get into that, I have to let you guys know it was the Frank and Wanda Morning Show. She'd kill me if I let y'all say it was the Frank Ski Show. Okay. But it was the Frank and Wanda Morning Show. But no, it wasn't a shock, but it was a shock because I've been here before. This is my second go round at V103. And the thing is, I was in negotiations for my new contract. And as you all know, working in radio and TV, when you go to negotiate your new contract, it could go either way. Either they want to re-up your contract, or they just said that they're going in a different direction. And they said that they were going in a different direction. So it wasn't a shock to me, and I wasn't disappointed, I wasn't upset, but I'm grateful for you guys reaching out to me so I'm able to let the fans know, because the last time, the thing that I didn't get to do was to tell the fans, thank you for listening. But that's the first thing I did when I got back the second time. I thanked them because I said, I never knew when the end was going to come again, but I want to get this out of the way right now to let you guys know that I appreciate the love and the support that you guys have been giving us since we've been here. And so when that day comes, and if that day comes again, I've already taken care of that.
This show is very popular, especially here in Metro Atlanta. How were you told? Was it by phone, email, or did you have a one-on-one conversation?
No, actually, I went in. I was scheduled to meet with Mr. Caffey today at 9:30. So I went in to meet with him and Reggie, the musical director. They were there, and he told me, he said that we're going in a different direction. The show rating, they're going up and down, and they're not steady. And what we want is for the show to be dominant, and we want our competition to be, well behind us. But right now, that's not happening. So what we decided to do is go in a different direction. So it's like, okay.
Well, I do want to thank you for taking our call earlier this evening, and you got here in a matter of 30 minutes to our radio station, so thank you so much for that. Since you received the news and Wanda, have you talked to her?
I've talked to her twice. I've talked to her twice, and she's not in a good space. So, and I can understand that, because the first time that I was let go, I was feeling the same way that she felt. And you have to take into consideration that the thing that people have to understand is that Wanda has been there over 25 years. And so to be in an industry for over 25 years, you expect to have the big hoopla when you get ready to leave, like, go and thank the people for a whole week. You go to different places, then people are able to come out and share their thank yous, and we appreciate what you've done for Atlanta. So to her, I believe it was a total shock, because she wasn't expecting. And it was also a shock for me when she came out of the office and she told me that they had let her go as well. So
Joe, this has been a blindside for both of you, really. And from Frank Ski's perspective, has he reached out to you?
Yeah, he did send me a text, and I texted him back. So that's that, but he's still there.
What I love about Atlanta, though, is that it comes together as a community. We have so much here going on in the industry. I'm sure you both will do something great. Do you have any plans for what's next for Sophia?
I have plans, and the thing is, at first I said, I just came back from visiting my family for the holidays, and I was in Houston. I said, they could have called and told me over the phone. I could have stayed in Houston, but now I have to buy a whole new ticket to get back to Houston. But it was like, no, and then I, said, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where God wants me to be. And God knows what he's doing. He's never made a mistake. He's not making a mistake this time. And so now what I went through the last time, I'm able to coach and walk Wanda through it, because I've walked that road and I know what she's dealing with, and I know what she's
Joe,
experiencing.
If Wanda is watching tonight, maybe you can just look at camera 3 or camera 4 and just tell her what you think, because you've been through this before.
It's just like, it's going to be okay, and you have to trust the process. You have to trust God, and just like we go to church and we receive the message, and what we have to do is, at times like this, not only do we receive those messages, but we have to apply those messages in our lives. And so what we go through and what we're going through is so that we could share this with somebody else when they're walking down this road, because we've walked down that road. And because I've walked down that road, I'm willing to hold your hand and walk down that road with you, because you were more than a friend to me. She was the one who initially brought me to V103. It was her idea to bring me to V103. She introduced me to V103.
And Miss Sophia, we have about 3 seconds left, but we have to address the elephant in the room. Did this have to do anything with the big fracas that happened with comedian Cat Williams? The timing of this seems pretty close.
But I can't say, I don't know, but there are possibilities that did have something to do with it. But of course, they're not going to share that information with us, so I would only be assuming. So I don't know, but
Did you
possibly
have
that
some
he
red
could.
flags after as soon as that happened?
Well, me personally, I felt like something big was going to happen because of that, because it put the station in a negative light, not the Cat Williams situation, but after it went on at the club, you know, when her husband went up to the club with the gun, and then that became a big story. And then it's just like, you all know that we have in our contracts that we can't bring any embarrassment or shame to the employee that we're working for. So
Well, Joe,
that put the employees in a negative
We
light.
wish you nothing but the very best, and certainly for the character of Miss Sophia, because you've brought so much joy to so many listeners. So thank you, first of all.
Especially
you,
here
and I
at CBS
appreciate
with
it.
your show, Girl Talk.
Yeah, I used to be here with
Yes.
Tracy Hutchinson. I used to be here, but you know, I'm the girl, Miss Sophia. I'll always be your girl,
Well, let
Miss
me
Sophia.
give you a big
with
hug.
Girl
I had a
Talk.
contract not renewed before too. It is tough, but you do get through it. I
Yeah.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it. We
Okay.
do.